evening, everybody. Hope you're okay. Hi, Scotty. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Portia. Hope you're all right this evening. Well, let me just see. I think Tim was on earlier. I think Joanne was. Give people a second to come in. How is everybody? Hope you're all right. I was just sat around today and I thought I'll do a live stream. And I was going to do a spirit box, but I wasn't sure whether the granddaughter was out tonight or not. So I went researching and looking up just the word evil, the connotations, the meaning, how we use it in the language. You know, I mean, there's so many different ways people use the word evil. You know, it's crazy. And half the time, it's nothing evil. It's not evil. And I don't just mean in a paranormal sense. You know, I think over the years, we've just begun to throw a word around which originally started off with serious connotations, which I'll get to. Hiya, Tara, honey. Are you all settled now? Is the house sorted? I know you were working and you were struggling getting it all sorted. Are you okay? And is it all done? I hope so. Yeah, it's not going to, I'm no theologian. I'm not going to sit here and quote the Bible because I'm not religious. You know, I mean, no doubt we'll get some people come in who just want to Google and ask the questions that people have been, studied 7 years for, or into the seminary for, to study religious education or to become a priest. At the end of the day, this is for us normal people who just have our own individual thoughts and beliefs and opinions, because, we are all entitled to our own thoughts, opinions, and beliefs. You should never follow a crowd. You should always examine everything yourself and come to your own beliefs, your own thoughts. Having help along the way and taking advice is a great thing, but that doesn't mean you always have to do that. If you can work it in, yes, normal, Andy, I know. So, as this is a serious stream tonight by me, and I don't do them all that often, that's kind of why I opened my other channel, so we can all have a laugh. Mods, any idiots, let them go. We're not here to debate the meaning of life or, the universe, which is 42, obviously, but that's by the by. We're just here to, as normal people with normal views and normal thought processes and normal points of view, see how we all feel about the word at the start of the stream, and then at the end, when we've looked into different connotations of it. I know, I don't think there is a definition for normal, Stephen. I think we're all our own normal, to be honest. Hi, Julie. Right, so I literally went back right to the start, to basics, when I was thinking about what to do the stream about, what to call it, how, to approach it. And I literally went back to basics. So I looked up the definition of evil. Right, so I'm going to read the definition of evil, yeah? And I'm not going to read it all, but I'm going to read you some of it. So so it is like profoundly immoral and wicked, right? So, of course, wicked, bad, wrong, morally wrong, wrongful, immoral, sinful, ungodly. Remember that one. Unholy, that one too. Foul, vile, base, right? Dishonorable, corrupt. So you're getting the meaning. There's loads of them. So the noun for this is profound, profound, and wickedness, especially when regarded as a supernatural force. So profound immorality and wickedness, especially when regarded as a supernatural force. wickedness, badness, wrongdoing, sin, sinfulness, ungodliness, vice. Oh, Jesus. I should probably stop there. Right, so you get the meaning, don't you? You kind of understand where we're going with this and how the word evil is explained, how it's been expanded to mean all these other things. Hi, Cassie. Then I'm going to share this anyway. So then I decided to look at the word good, right? Because you can't have one without the other, obviously. So they would lead us to believe. So then I looked up the word good, right? So first of all, I'm going to show you, if I can get it to work, the definition of evil, and look at how many words there are or meanings. Right. Right, let's just open that up. So, as you can see, I don't know whether I'll be able to, if I make it any bigger, it might distort it somewhat. Let's try that, and we'll see where we are there. So you can see the amount of words there that evil is supposed to be. And I was quite shocked at the amount of different words that they use. Right. So, of course, it's me. I looked up good. And I've got to say, this is why you shouldn't ever just base your beliefs on what has been passed down for 2,000 years since the Bible was done. Right. So, need to go back into my screen share 1 second. Right. So you've seen the amount of words. Yeah. Well, this is good. And it's when I counted the words that was used for good and what was used for evil, it was probably a third less words that we use to say good as to say bad. And I was sat here shaking my head, and I was just wondering how that could actually be. How could we have so many words that portray the word evil compared to the word good? Would you not think that we're supposed to be more good than bad? So it's just one of the things that actually quite shocked me, the amount of them. I mean, you can go look it up yourself. I'm just going to say hello to people who've come in because I don't want to be rude. Exploring with Chad, hello. Said hi to Kathy, didn't I? Who else? Supernatural. Oh, yep. Supernatural Lost Adventures. Hello, how are you? Right, so I think I am caught up. So, I mean, that was just one of the things that I was struggling to try to understand, you know. So, of course, and I had to look into it a bit more because it's me. So I put, I was just thinking, what or who dictates if something is evil? And I mean, wouldn't we all like to know? So I've wrote some notes because, again, it's me and I can be a bit anal. And I'd like to say that it's a simple answer, but with anything in the religious sphere of beliefs, it just isn't. I was under the belief, like many, that it came from the Christian Bible. But this isn't the case, which I've got to say I was really shocked at. The concept of evil, I've always believed the concept of evil came from Judeo-Christianity. It came from the Bible, because I'm not a big believer in the Bible for a lot of reasons, and this is why I don't really use religion in any of the things I do. Obviously, if I get those words and names on my spirit box, I'll put them in, but it's not something I actually follow. So the problem of evil was mentioned way back in ancient Greece. Now, this is where religion pops its ugly head again. Evil was always mentioned alongside a God. So although it wasn't in Christianity that the first definitions of evil were known, which is what I always thought, it's always that I could find codependent on a God being with it. So you can't have evil without a God, right? Way back, right to ancient times, a God and evil were always mentioned in the same thing. Is the good without a God? Is the evil without a God? I don't know. It is a good question, but I really couldn't find a definitive answer for it. The only things I could find was it was always meshed in with a religion or a God. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about religion always dictating to us what we should believe is evil. And because to me, you can do something. I mean, right, okay, a situation. Girlfriend asks her boyfriend, does my bum look big in this? If he says yes, and she turns around and goes, oh my God, you're evil. Is he evil? Or is he just making a statement? Bad taste, maybe. But she's thrown the word evil around. And to me, it is just too easily thrown around, whether it's in the paranormal or outside of the paranormal. The word evil and a lot of its definitions do not. Let me just say hello to people. I don't think I mentioned Claire before. Sorry, Claire. Hello. Hi, Joanne. How are you? Let's have a look at Joanne's. I've got some more things to do yet, but let's have a look. Maybe, but then you have to decide what your definition of evil is, because it's not always the same. There will always be answers we can't find or explain. I totally agree with you 100%, and I never ever put the 100% moniker on my videos, and I will never say the paranormal's been proven, because I simply don't believe there is enough evidence what people have collected to call it proof. We collect evidence and we have our beliefs, but there is no 100% proof out there. That's something I believe. It is a very hard one, and I don't think it's a word that we can chuck around. So, for example, did Neanderthal or early Homo sapiens have a concept of evil? Again, it's not clear, but if they did, I'm not certain it was the same concept as ours. Neanderthals especially didn't seem to suffer with the right or wrong of a situation. They were hunter-gatherers and were more need-based than anything else. They need food. They did what they needed to get it. I'm sure they wouldn't have lost sleep if they had to kill to get that food. I think we would have used the words like evil attached to some of the methods they used. But can we really judge them on our own indoctrinated beliefs of evil? I have to say that I couldn't. Now, again, how can we turn around and go back to Neanderthal times or to early Homo sapiens, and if they kill somebody to get some food, there was no religion back in Neanderthal times that we know of. So they wouldn't have classed themselves as evil. They would have classed themselves as survivalists. And this is the concept that I'm trying to get to. Religion wasn't foremost in any of their minds. So without religion, are they evil for trying to survive? If I went up and killed somebody now for something to eat, people would probably put the moniker as evil on me. But would it be? Somebody would, especially if I killed 2, 3, 4 people with a need to survive. Somewhere I'd be classed as a serial killer and in turn evil. But Neanderthals did it. They needed to survive. We're the evil. You see, this is the thing. You can't judge everybody. Right, Glenn? You can't judge everybody all throughout history in the same vein. If you need to eat, you need to survive, you need that will to live, you will kill somebody. And that's what they did. That's what Neanderthals did. They needed food. Joanne. Yeah. And this is why I don't throw the word evil around too often. Because I think a lot of situations where we use the word just really aren't called for, and it's a definition of it. You would not class them as evil. You would class them as surviving, a product of the time, maybe, need-based, like I said, but you wouldn't class them as evil. But if they went around doing that today, you would. And that's because we started introducing gods and religion and all these things as we evolved and we learned. I think we needed to have a good a yardstick, shall we say, and good and evil. They couldn't have one without the other. If they wanted people to be good, they had to give them consequences. It just gets me so frustrated when you see the word, thrown around without a forethought. So in the paranormal, what would you consider evil? You see, this again is another question. What would you consider evil in the paranormal? It's a hard one because it hasn't been proven. So any supposition that we come up with is literally only that. We only guess. It's only our beliefs. I don't believe in demons. I don't believe in devils. I don't believe in things like that. But that's only my opinion. But the reason I don't is because I'm not a big Bible believer and I'm not big on religion. And I went through all the indoctrination of religion and organised religion when I was younger. So to me, when you're banding the word evil around or saying something's evil, it's literally only an opinion and you're only following a doctrine that was introduced back in ancient Greece because they needed to associate it with a god. Could you not, Stephen? Could you not do it if you were in a situation where your life was on the line? Could you not shoot somebody? See, this is the other thing. I wouldn't class that as a bad act. I wouldn't class it as an evil act. I'd class it as defending yourself or defending your rights. But you know damn well somebody would say it was evil. Or one of the other definitions of evil. Wrong is a definition of evil. I wouldn't consider defending yourself wrong. No, I don't think even with a potato gun, because I mean, that'd take some potatoes to kill somebody if you're going to shoot them. I hate the thought of dying at somebody else's hand, Stephen. So it'd be quite handy if I had a gun there. Gotta say. Joanne, I'm not here to debate people's religious beliefs with them. They're just my own. I would say the devil doesn't exist. I say there is a power out there. I think it's omnipotent, and I think it's not good or evil. I think it just is. I will use the term God for it, for lack of a better word, but I don't, under any circumstances, think it's one or the other. I think it just is. I think it's always been there. I think it's always been around. I think it's more universe based than religion based. But then again, there's no certainties in the paranormal or religion or life in general. You know, we shouldn't ever put a moniker of certain on anything. We can say it's our own belief or our own opinion, and that's perfectly fine. I think it's an ancient thing. Andy, Elemental Encounters, his way of looking at demons was quite interesting. Apparently, if you look and go back, it's an elven thing. In the elemental things, that's what people considered demons, and that's where they got the word demon from. The feeling we create. What evil's a feeling? Is that what you're talking about, Stephen? Is that what you mean? You see, the concept of something being evil in a haunting is a strange one to me, because I've seen people just getting touched and they'll go, oh my God, it's a demon. Oh my God, it's devil. You know, it's the devil, it's Satan, and and then the next minute they're possessed or oppressed or something. And I just don't understand that. I just don't get it. Something touched you. Really, Andy? Oh, right, that's very interesting. So I'll ask you when I finish talking, but I want to understand the concepts of good and evil in what you would consider good and evil. Okay, Julie, welcome back, darling. Yeah, so to say something's evil in the paranormal world, I think my definition of evil or an evil entity, what people would consider demons and devils and that, is totally different than a lot of people in the paranormal, not coming from a religious base. Religion screwed me over, so that can go whistle Dixie for me. And the book was written by men. What was it? The Council of, can't think of the name now, but it was men who wrote the Bible. They'll say they took it from the gospel, but let's be honest with you, we've all told a fib or two in our lives. So who's to say they didn't alter the supposed gospels for their own ends? Do you know what I mean? Maybe, Claire. I don't throw out anything as a possibility ever. You've got to. We don't know, and this is the thing. And this is kind of my thought process on evil. We don't know. We assume, and assumptions, going to make an ass out of you and me. We assume things are evil. We don't know. Somebody says they're possessed. Is it a mental illness? Is it something like schizophrenia? I mean, there's lots of mental illnesses where you can have a psychotic break. And even epilepsy, there's a form of epilepsy that can create, like, talking in tongues, the seizures where people, and they're thinking it's all down to the devil, or but they end up talking in tongues because of the epilepsy. Obviously they're having seizures of it. You can't just blame everything on some evil, supposed evil entity or evil thing. Something that happens depends on how we react to good or evil. In what context? All right. So well, it's opinion based, isn't it? You know, we're not born good. Good's a learned behaviour. We learn to be good. Is evil a learned behaviour? We're not born fundamentally good. It's something we learn when our parents teach us. Say thank you. Say please. Don't do that. That isn't nice. Say sorry. These are things that we learn from our parents as we're growing up. It teaches us how to fit in society, but it's also showing us the difference that is considered wrong in modern day society to what's right in modern day society. It's a learned behaviour. Is being evil a learned behaviour? Or what people would consider evil? Is that also learned? See, that's a thought, isn't it? If being evil's learned, where's it being learned from? Because the only place that they've wrote it down is in religious texts going back to ancient Greece about gods, and in the Judeo-Christianity in the Bible. So there are texts about evil. So if somebody does something evil, where did they learn it from? There's only one source. People don't realise this. You have to learn these things to become them. And if we're learning to be evil, or if people are learning to be evil, it's literally coming from the first writings about evil, which were back in ancient Greece. That's food for thought, isn't it? It's true, Claire. It's kind of what I'm saying. We don't fundamentally learn good or bad apart from through teachings, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, this is all my opinion. We go back in time and it's always related to and codependent on religion in whatever form it is. Perception's a good way of saying it. Yeah, Glenn, I always say it's my opinion. Always. Hi, Miss Monty, how are you? Exactly, but we don't know if spirit is real. Exactly. If there is a there, on beliefs and what we're picking up along the way and what we think we know. Because, like I say, there is no certainty, there is no 100% proof. You know? And you should have to get one in, Claire. I hope you don't mean what word. Well, I hope you don't mean to have what word Claire wrote. No, you can't say that in Canada. Kev Wilson said so. I'm just reading Andy's. Bear with me, please. That's a good one, Andy. But the other side of that is, if you kill him and don't get caught, who's to say you're evil? There's nobody judging you. You're not going to have a judge, are you? So if you're not judged, which is what the Bible and religious texts tend to be about, if you're not judged by anybody if you kill him, does that make you evil? If you get away with it scot-free and then never do anything like it again, are you evil? I think being judged by other people is where the evil words come from. Don't encourage your Andy. Yeah, I just don't think we're automatically evil because we do something. Will you not encourage Claire to say we love that word? I don't judge myself about anything. It is what it is, isn't it? I wouldn't lose any sleep over killing Hitler. Yeah, but if I was killing for fun, Cassie, I'd already learned to be evil. Do you understand what I mean? I think we have psychopaths who learn that they have no commitment to be good or bad. That, it doesn't affect them really. They don't care. That's a psychopath. But at the end of the day, people who actually have feelings and emotions and responsibilities learn to be good or bad, in my opinion. So there's a lot of people who I could quite willingly go back through time and kill, and wouldn't judge myself and wouldn't feel like I was evil over. Yeah, they don't have a sense of remorse. But I wouldn't have a sense of remorse over killing Hitler. In fact, I then had poured the petrol over him and danced on top of him, obviously when the flames went down, and not felt bad about that either. There's a lot of people through history who, deserved it, to be perfectly honest with you. And I wouldn't have felt bad about it, and I wouldn't have felt remorse, and I wouldn't have thought I was guilty. I wouldn't have thought I was evil in any way, shape, or form. But like I said, do we only put the evil moniker on it because people have judged us for doing that? I always say there's no certainty in this world, no true certainty, and there isn't. It's crazy to put things like that on it. Jesus, Claire. Yeah. So I don't think we should ban the word evil around. Even in the paranormal, I've had things fly off sides in my house, and I don't think it's evil. I think it's just trying to get attention. When they say they got hit by something flying across the room, it's just to say that the spirit just didn't, or whatever it is, just has really lousy aim. They could just have really bad, crappy aim. We don't know. You're saying it's evil because it's touched you with something. That doesn't make it evil. It makes it a bad shot. Exactly. Exactly, Andy. But did they really think he was doing the right thing? Or was he too scared to say anything because he was perceived as evil? And they, especially in Germany was a big Catholic country. I'm not sure whether it still is a big Catholic country, but it was at the time. So when socialism came in and religion kind of went out of the window, were they too scared to say anything or voice the opinions? But they all still had the learned behaviour from the Bible. But we have been brainwashed to a degree, Joanne. If you've studied Christianity, the Quran, the Jewish, I can't think what it's called now off my head. What's the Jewish Bible called? Oh gosh, I can't think, and I do apologise to any Jewish people out there. I can't think of the Jewish Bibles or the religious book. Somebody have a look for me. But they all have a concept of evil in them. So, are they only evil because they've read it and learned it? Just because you learn something, if you're forced to go to church, mosque, or temple every week, and you're having the concept of good and evil drilled into you on a regular basis, is that not a form of brainwashing? You know, it's brainwashed by any other name. And it's going to bug me now if I can't think of the Jewish faith. But yeah, to me, that's a form of brainwashing. Just doesn't have to be a cult with, you know, Kool-Aid to make it bad. Claire. Obviously. I thought I'd look stern then, and then I thought, no, we'll split it. Sorry, I'm just reading chat for 1 second. So come on, in chat, what's your thought process on evil? Your opinion. There's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. We don't judge here. We don't think we're superior in my groups. We never think we're superior. We don't think we're above anybody else. We're all equal footing here. Yeah, I haven't looked into the stats recently, but I know at the time of the Second World War they were majorly Christians. Hello, John. How are you, honey? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so come on, what's your thought process? Because mine, it's learned. We've learned it. It's been indoctrinated into us. The thoughts of evil, or the word evil, or the concept of evil has been written into our language back in the ancient Greek times with religious-based intentions. If it was never there, would we have Christianity now? Let's have a look. Yeah, balance. Literally, my mum always brought me up to believe that I'm not better than anybody else, but nobody else is better than me. And that was like a big thing in our house. It's balance, you know. But I'm not sure it isn't. I'm not certain that it isn't something we would have come to in our own evolution without God being thrown into the mix. I think we would have come to the concept of right and wrong. It's the word evil and all the many definitions of it that get me a bit wound up. Do you understand what I mean? I think through our own evolution, through time, through our own progression, through our own mental capabilities expanding, that we would have actually got to the concept of good and bad and what was right to do and what was wrong to do. It's the word evil from the religious connotation that winds me up. And you're right, Claire. But all my children made the first Holy Communion, because although I really wasn't going to church at the time, they were all baptised, made the first Holy Communion, got confirmed, you know, the whole kit and caboodle. But over the years, I was falling more and more out of love with organised religion and the Bible. And it got to a point where I just couldn't conceive being involved in it in any way, shape, or form. I never forced my children to go to church. If we went, you know, weddings, you know, that sort of thing. But it wasn't I mean, I was forced to go to church twice a week. I was forced to learn Bible, which was great because I was dyslexic, so I just used to look like I was doing it. My dyslexia came in handy for some things. Quite right. I mean, the concept of God, I have no problem with. The concept of religion, I do. The thing is, religion in some aspects, or just believing in God, brings comfort to people when they need it, and there is nothing wrong with comfort. And if saying a prayer or having that belief brings you comfort in times of crisis, in that moment when you need a friend and there's nobody there, if you say a prayer, you know, there is nothing wrong with that at all. If it brings you comfort, it stops bringing me comfort. But again, this is my opinion on it and my beliefs. There was nothing left in it that I could get comfort from. Exactly, Claire. And that was one of the major things for me. My brother's gay. Can't follow a doctrine that says the things it says about homosexuality. Can't do it. I can believe in a God because man wrote the Bible. So believing in a God's not a stretch for me, and it isn't a concept that I can dismiss under whatever pretext. And I call it God. It's a higher power. But yeah, can't get behind that. I won't follow a religion or a book that refers to my brother the way that they do, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, whatever. I'm not doing it. I've got that symbol tattooed on my leg, you know. It's the only tattoo I've got, and it's the yin yang symbol on my leg. Yes, so do I. I think that. But see, I'm not a big believer in demons and devils and all this. I've not seen any proof. But because there's no proof that God exists, really. There's no proof that the devil exists, and there's no proof that ghosts and spirits exist. We have opinions and beliefs, and that's all. I do too, but then again, men wrote, like I said, man or mankind, if you will. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything. Wrote the Bible. They put what suited their needs at the time in there. You are who you are, Stephen. Not not that I'm going to break out into song. I am what I am. People are what they are. People are going to believe what they believe, and it is their choice, their opinions, and their life. You were born the way you are. You can't change who you are. You're fundamentally who you are, and there is nothing wrong with that. And anybody who thinks differently can go whistle Dixie. Yeah, I agree. And so did mine when she wasn't beating us with back at brush. She's Irish. It just shows you she loves us. Nothing wrong with loving whoever you want to love. I agree, Joanne. Hi, Pearlman. How are you? Hope you're all right. Thank you for coming by. Oh, nice, John. What are you making? Mind you, I probably shouldn't ask you that if you're watching the grill, should I? Don't burn them. Don't burn them. You see, I think that's... I believed blindly when I was young, Cassie. I did. And like I said, we were indoctrinated into it. I was born into an Irish Catholic family. I went to church twice a week and confession once a week. When I first started taking confession, I hadn't done anything that I considered wrong or evil or bad. I literally used to lie in confession, say I stole a pencil or I stole a rubber or I hit my sister or anything so I could go to confession because I'd done nothing that week that I would consider bad or wrong or evil. So I literally committed a sin by lying in confession. But on the plus side, I could also add that to the confession the week after and said I lied. So I was good. Yeah, I don't understand racism in any form, way, shape, or form. I've got a mixed race grandchild, and to me, she's the most beautiful child in the world. I mean, I could just be a tad biased, but she is. But I also believe my other two grandchildren are the most beautiful children in the world as well. So, that comes back to that love is love kind of thing. You were still born who you are, Stephen. You're still who you are. You were still born that way. You were still born you. Whatever you choose to do with your life, you were still born you. Yep, racism works both ways, Andy. I totally agree. Totally agree. Again, that's one of those learned behaviours, isn't it? That shouldn't ever exist or existed to begin with. Like I said, my mum always said to me, I'm better than nobody else and nobody's better than me. You lot are chatty, chatty, chatty tonight, aren't you? Trying to keep up with you. See you later, Andy. Thanks for popping in, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your time there. And I'll speak to you properly when we get back about some things from my other channel. Should be fun. Does it really, Portia? Oh, wow. Let me see those fingers, Andy. Doesn't matter to me either, Julie. I totally agree. these behaviors? Where do you blame these concepts? You can probably put most of the things where we're judging people back to some form of religion along the way. It's scary to think what hold religion has had over our evolution and over our concept of good and evil. It's a scary thought. Because would we believe in evil? If evil wasn't a word that was brought into being by somebody worshipping a god all the way back to ancient times, would we have come across the word eventually? Or would we have just said, don't do that, it's bad? Do you understand what I mean? So in that case, what are the connotations towards the paranormal field if there is no evil there? If demons weren't wrote about in religious texts, if the devil wasn't wrote about in religious texts, what would that mean for the paranormal field? If all these evil things were never wrote about in any of the religious teachings through the centuries, so the word never existed, so therefore demons, Satan, fallen angels, all this, if they didn't exist, what would that mean for the paranormal? If the world didn't exist, we wouldn't be having this conversation. If it did say world, oh, word, need glasses. Yeah, exactly. If the word didn't exist, there would be no offshoots from it. So there would be no demons, no devils, no Satan, no, you're going to rot in hell if you do this. No, you're going to suffer for an eternity if you do this. Would we have come to the concept that it's just bad if you do this? I mean, you still have laws and jurisdictions and, all that good stuff. If something's just bad, doesn't make it evil, but it's a whole different ball game when you put that into the context of the paranormal. Exactly. And what a loss to the world that would have been, Joanne. But for a lot of those paranormal groups out there who rely on the concept of evil and demons, what would that make the paranormal feel then? When if the word demon came across your spirit box or was spelled out on a Ouija board or was communicated to you through a mediumship, it would be a word we'd just dismiss because it wouldn't have been a word wrote into the language because it wouldn't have been in the old teachings. I don't believe in Satan and I don't believe in the devil. I think, again, it's just another religious thing that we've been indoctrinated with over the centuries because they needed a concept of evil, they needed a concept of bad, they needed a concept of wrong. And if they want us to believe in a god or any gods, whether you believe in a single god or whether you believe in multiple gods, if they want us to believe that they're the antipathy of good, if they want us to believe that a god or gods are good, then they have to give us the opposite because they're only pushing us towards a situation. I don't know, a subliminal message kind of thing. If we have to believe in good, right? What's to stop us from going out and killing somebody and saying, "Hey, it's okay, it's all good," right? God loves us. God is great. But we had no punishment for it because there was no nothing pushing us towards being good, really. If you want me to be good, you've got to give me the flip side to that. So to me, the flip side to being good, in the way that it's been taught over the centuries, is, or whether it's going back to ancient times, had the concept of evil, because they needed that to make us be good. If we didn't have the thoughts of burning in a fiery pit of hell and damnation, we wouldn't have cared. We wouldn't have cared about religion at all, because there was nothing making us want to be a religious person. If you don't have the concept of evil, then there is no religion. Oh, Jesus Christ, Claire. But again, you say he was an angel, but again, it's just religious-based things. I don't believe in religious-based things. I believe people can be good, and I believe people can be bad, but not good in a religious sense, just good in a learned sense from behaviours. I believe some things are right, and I believe some things are wrong. Like I said, if we didn't have the concept of evil, though, there'd be no religion, no good gods and things like that. You have to have, it's something they had to do to make us think that we were doing right by learning religion or being religious. They had to conceive a flip side to it to make us continue on that path, to corral us, if you will, into thinking that God is good. They had to corral us, because if we didn't think that, nobody would have flocked to religion if we didn't think we were going to burn in a fiery pit of hell. Now, I'm good at being me, Claire. Take it how you want. The good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah, I just think it was the tool to be used. I think evil was the word evil and all that goes along with it was a tool used to corral us into being religious and believing in gods, and all the clouds and harps and angels and things like that. I think it was just a tool used to corral us. Was religion a bad concept? No. Teaching us to be good and believing in something pure isn't a bad thing. I don't think it was a bad thing. But I do think it wouldn't have been as big a thing if they didn't have the flip side: evil, Satan, demons. Exactly. Mankind. It was wrote. You write something, God didn't pop down and write the Bible, right? They say that the Gospels from the Apostles. I'm not saying they're not. What I'm saying is, man, internet went a bit awry then. I'm back. Yeah, they might have been written by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and all that good stuff. But mankind fit them into the Bible, and I'm pretty sure they were heavily edited. Not man per se, Joanne. Mankind. Yeah, I'm not sexist, so mankind. But I will say man, because I keep saying mankind, mankind, mankind. All I can imagine, all I can think when I say mankind, because I was into my wrestling in the 90s, I only think of Mankind, the wrestler in the WWE. Terry Foley, was it? Something like that. Yeah, Stephen, I think women can be 10 times worse than men when they put their minds to it. I dread to think what life would be like if Claire wrote the Bible. She'd probably have a space at the back for you to write your own hit list. And little boxes so you can tick it off when you've done it. It would be a terrible and wonderful thing. Because we wouldn't be blamed for anything, would we? He's like as crazy as me, and I love it. But you see, this is what I want. I didn't want this to be, like I said, an educational based thing. I'm not into education on other people. I like normal people. You know, I don't try to force my opinions on everybody, and I don't believe I'm always right. So I will always say it's only my opinion. My opinion isn't law. It should be, but it isn't. No, I'm joking. Literally, everybody should be glad that I never went into politics because we would be living in a dictatorship by now. So it's a good job I never did it. But yeah, these are only ever my opinions, and I have no problem if people want to be religious and want to follow a religion. Anything that brings people comfort, because people go through some hard times, and if saying a prayer or being around other religious people in a mass, you know, brings you comfort and peace, then you should do that. Thank you, Cassie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ali G for president. My Julie. Stephen, you don't know who Ali G is? What about Borat? Do you know who Borat is? Exactly, Claire. What about my Julie? We had to show Julie doing Ali G doing my Julie for Julie because me and Claire are like my Julie. All right, yeah, that's who it is. Pale Bomb. It's the same person who did Borat does Ali G. I can't think of his name off my head. You know, it's terrible because every time I see him, I always go, "Oh, it's Ali G." He never gets his proper name with me. In fact, I was watching the other night on Netflix, and he's done a very serious series where he's a Mossad spy back in the 60s. And I watched a few episodes of it. It was all right. I'm going to go back and watch the rest of it. It was actually okay. So, oh, look, done an hour. I don't know whether people are going to agree with me, disagree with me. Again, they're all entitled to their own opinion. I wouldn't try to take anybody's comfort away from them or truth in their eyes, because it's truth in their eyes. When you've learned something from being a baby, like religion, it becomes your truth, doesn't it? But I do believe the paranormal field would be a hell of a lot different if the religious people didn't get involved. Could you imagine all those people who would lose out if they couldn't say, it was a demon, it was Satan, we had legions of evil jumping through our house? People would lose out on a lot of that, wouldn't they? Oh, why can't you read the messages? Portia, hun. You never see her having a baseball cap and a tracksuit on, do you? Lady behaviours. There is an evil Santa, isn't there? I can't think of his name. It's more elementally based. Oh, Crumpus, something like that. Krampus. Hang on. Let me see if I can find him. Krampus. There you go. It's like the evil Santa, isn't it? Let's have a look. I'll share this. I'll take those definitions down because we don't need those now. Right, so I'll share this. It's Krampus. I knew there was. There we go. I don't know how much you'll be able to read this. So let me just put it on. Right, I'll see if I can make it bigger. But yeah. Krampus, evil Santa. There you go. It's pretty cool that they have, like, you see, you can't even have Santa Claus, you know, who's the epitome of good without having the other side of it. Is an anthropomorphic figure, half goat and half demon. There you go. So you can't have good without them, or good without evil. You've always got to have the other side of it. It's crazy, the indoctrination we've had. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah. Hello, Birmingham Ghost Hunters. How are you? I hope you're well. Oh, geez, I didn't know Claire was going to say something like that. But there's always a flip side, isn't there? And that's what religion, going back to the ancient Greek times where they decided that evil had to have a part in it because nobody would follow a god if there wasn't evil. Do the Stephen. Cool. But again, it's one of those ways you keep your children in line, isn't it? I mean, I think in more Christianity, we say Santa Claus, you've got to be good, or you don't get your gifts off Santa. It's a hell of a different meaning. What is it like the Czech Republic and around there? Let me go back. Yeah, Croatia, Czech Republic, Hungary, Northern Italy. All those places. Doesn't not stick them in his sack and kill them, hangs them up and kills them or something. If they're bad, I mean, I'd want to be good if I were going to get killed. So you can't even have Santa without the opposing evil side to it. Religion has a lot to answer for. Thank you, Birmingham Ghost Hunters. I appreciate it. I really do. Claire, because now I do actually have a different channel. I used to like do all my crazy lives on here as well, but I've separated them. So if you just want to have fun about paranormal or anything, I do actually have another channel now. I think it's in the description of this. It's called I'm So Not Normal Paranormal, but I've just put the abbreviation up. If Claire or Claire, I've put two mods on today on my other channel, Claire and Julie, if any of them's around, they can put the link in. Yeah, I don't like buy into the drama or the crap or all their arguments. They come on my channel, they go off twice as quick. It's not that I can't argue with people. My mother always told me I could argue with my big toe if I had nobody else to argue with. I just don't see the need over the internet. It's just silly. I just like to know what people are thinking, what they believe as well. I mean, yes, it's my channel, but I mean, I think everybody's views are valid and everybody's opinions are valid. And I love all the varied opinions and beliefs. All right, cheers, Claire. So if you're not already, anybody who's on, you're not already subscribed to my other channel, Claire's just put the link in. It's going to be a bit more of a crazy place. And we're actually planning a live truth or dare. It was Andy, Elemental Encounters' idea. We're going to have a panel up and we're going to have a truth or dare session. Nothing that's going to get me kicked off Facebook, no nude streaking or anything like that. But we're going to, I don't know how long it's going to take us to set it up, but just for a laugh and just to have a good time and enjoy each other's company, we're going to have a panel up, and if I can get people to participate in it and have a live truth or dare session. Yes, we're going to do Would You Rather as well. We're going to do a Would You Rather. We might do that first because that might be easier to set up a Would You Rather. Yes, Portia, you can. It's only a small channel. I think I've only got 22 subs so far, but like most of the people who come on my channel anyway. So but I got like, I don't know, I did my first live last week and I got like 60 odd views, I think, on it, or 50 odd or 60 odd views on it. So but that's just going to be a channel where we can all just kick back and have fun and talk about whatever we choose to talk about. Birmingham. Yeah, my other channel, Birmingham, though, it will be a bit more wild than this one. I decided I didn't want to keep age restricting these live streams that I did because we got a bit crazy. So I figured it was better to open up a second channel. Then I don't mind age restricting on the other channel. I don't know when it's going to be, Portia, but yeah, me and Andy are going to do it. And then we'll either do the truth or dare between ourselves, but if we get enough people in the chat, they get to pick our truth or dares. I have no shame, by the way. I have no shame. So if people ask me something, I'm just going to tell them because I really don't care and I have no shame. Joanne, another Joanne, yay! Yes, you get a collection. No, because I'm going to stream on here. I explained to you I've had a lot on the last few weeks. So, but no, I'm going to. I don't know whether it's going to be on Halloween itself, or just before, or just after. But I've got a Halloween stream that I'm planning to do, and it's about the evolution from Samhain to modern day Halloween. You know, I'm not one for dressing up, so it won't be things like that. It'll be more just about the information and having a laugh and how things have changed from paganism to Christianity and how the concept of Halloween's changed. Yeah, it's literally why I opened my other channel, Low Portrait, is because although I want to have a laugh and a joke, because that's kind of my nature, and I like to take the mickey and wind people up and just joke about everything, I can't really do it the way I want to do it on here and grow my channel in the way I want to, you know, grow it. I mean, I'm not monetized. I don't even have a bloody PayPal. I just literally want to learn, and I want to learn from other people, and I want to look at every side of the paranormal as much as I can. I want to make my own decisions on what I think's okay and what I think isn't, and you know, but you have to learn to do that. So, you know, my other channel is going to be more like out there. This one I'm going to try to keep as unage restricted as possible. It might not work out, but we'll give it a go. You eat that candy, Joanne. Claire's always evil. It's not even a choice. She is the Judeo-Christianity and ancient Greek definition of evil. Yeah, I mean, nobody has to believe what I say, and nobody has to take it as written. If you took it as written, my word would be gospel. But yeah, nobody has to believe me. Nobody has to take my word for it. I mean, I believe having advice from other people and having help from other people is not a bad thing. But I still think we all have to find our own way, because you always have to. Oh, how do I say this? You have to find what sits right with you, what feels right. You have to educate yourself in all forms and in all aspects as much as you can. And that is the right thing to do. And having help along the way is never a bad thing. But at the end of the day, it's your journey. It's you who's wading through the quagmire of everything out there in the paranormal. So it's always going to be your journey and your progress. So you have to have your own opinion at the end of it, and you should always, always, always do that. Don't believe blindly. Don't follow blindly. But don't judge. You know, take what you can, what you learn, fit it into your beliefs and what feels right for you. But move forward. No, Stephen. Seriously. I can remember bobbing for apples. Oh gosh, I must have been 10. And I was bobbing for apples. And my sister bloody held my head down. Honestly. Mind you, she also forced my hand flat on a table and jabbed a knife in between my fingers. fast as well. So, you know, love my family. I don't know, that's quite funny though. Sorry, but it was quite funny. So did you enjoy the stream tonight, everybody who's listened in? With my thoughts and beliefs on, you know, what I consider beliefs. I know it was something different for me. Oh, Tim, we nearly finished. We're like an hour and a half, 20 minutes in. How are you doing? It was really cool. It was a really good stream. We're just chilling and talking now. But it was a really good stream if you look back. I really enjoyed it. Got my recommendation. Go and look back. Sorry. But yeah, it was really good. Yeah, certainly was, Joanne. Tim, I'm not touting for trade or anything, but I have another Facebook group, and if Claire would be so kind as to actually put it in the, if you're not already subscribed, put it back in the chat again. It's more of a kickback thing. It's called I'm So Not Normal Paranormal. But we're not just doing paranormal on there. If people want to talk paranormal, we'll talk paranormal. But it's going to be more adult based and grown ups. No teeny boppers required to try gam the spandulics from. We're going to have good fun, good chill back times with like minded people. Oh, really? That sounds interesting, Tim. Very good. See, I love history. Yeah. Tim, if I'm ever streaming and you're ever, you know, on my other channel and you ever just want to laugh, that's the channel for you. All right. See, I love history. I mean, to me, you can't go wrong. We learn from our histories. How very cool. I must admit, right, as much as I like to take the mickey out of stuff and wind people up and have a laugh and a joke, I'm literally one of those people who sits there and looks through old photographs and old like newspaper clippings and old maps, and that's literally me. Oh, I'm glad you I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was just something a bit different from me. I was literally going to do a spirit box session about Peter, with trying to expand on the answers I got from the one I annotated yesterday that I'd done weeks ago. But Sierra's still here, so I didn't want to start opening a session up and everything because, you know, I don't like to do it when she's in the house. So I didn't want to start opening a session or anything while she was here. Brilliant. Goodbye, and one of us will and let us know what it's called and everything in one of my videos. Put it in the chat or put it in one of the comments, and then we can do that support thing. That was really interesting, the one I did, and I did it weeks ago, but I've never wanted to annotate it, you know, because of all the things that are going on in my life at the minute, and so I didn't do anything about it, and I just thought I'd do it. No worries, Tim. No worries at all. You know, we all have lives that we have to fit around this YouTube gig. But I do appreciate it. But, you know, if you get a minute, watch it back because it was quite, you know, I mean, everything I say is only my opinion, and you will see I say that quite often throughout the stream. But yeah, very interesting. This my all right. I'm going to say my thought process. I thought was very interesting. Oh wow, where are you? I mean, if you don't mind me asking, thunderstorms. Whereabouts were you that you had thunderstorms? Obviously, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Just say I don't want to tell you, and I'm good with that. I don't mean the place, just the area, country, you know, county, state, South Georgia. Wow. I love the South of America, I've got to admit. I love the concept. I love the I mean, I obviously don't know because, like, I don't live there. And what I see is only through TV programs or, you know, films, things like that. But the pace of life, the thought process of the people there is different than a lot of places in the world. It's more relaxed, more even, even. I think that's probably the way to put it. More even, not so many ups and downs. It just, you know, it just flows. You know, I've got to be honest. I like watching those kind of things, but I won't want to live through it. I've got to be honest. I've just thought, and I can never understand where is it. Give me a second to think. Um, my lord, I can't think of the place. Where Blake Shelton's from? Where's Blake Shelton from? I'm not American. Where's Blake Shelton from? And they have like they literally name it Hurricane Alley. What's the count? The state that Blake Shelton's from? Um, Speaking with C, I'm not sure. Not Colorado. Um, Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Thank you, Julie. And they have Hurricane Alley, and it's literally named that. It's like a strip where all these tornadoes and hurricanes go through. I mean, and people are forever losing their houses, and then they rebuild them and stay there. I'm sorry, the definition of just like crazy is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. It's just no, move. If you want to stay in Oklahoma, move to a place in Oklahoma that isn't called Hurricane Alley. Just a thought. Your houses are going to get blown down time and time again. Move. It may not be as easy as I'm making it out, but seriously, your house is going to get wrecked again. Move. You live in Hurricane Alley. Move. Put your things in a bag and thumb at the side of the road and move to somewhere that you're not. It's not called Hurricane Alley. Tornado Alley. Thank you, Tim. So, but you know, still stands. Move. Tim, it looks absolutely beautiful when, you know, a hurricane or a tornado isn't passing through. It looks an absolutely gorgeous place. But move. Move to somewhere else in Oklahoma that isn't called Tornado Alley. Move. I would put my possessions in a bag and a suitcase, and if I had a car, pack them in, and I would move. I would live in my car rather than live in Tornado Alley, because you're only going to have to keep rebuilding. Nothing wrong with that, Tim. If you enjoy it, do it. Life's too short not to do the things we enjoy. I never, ever, ever belittle anybody for being who or what they are. At the end of the day, I'm a bit of a history nerd. I think, and I've said this before, Billy Connolly described my thought process better than anybody else I've ever known. He said, most people think like this. I think like this. And that's me. I don't think in the what would be considered rational thought process of other people. I'm a bit of a weirdo. Oh, Jesus, Claire, all children are like tornadoes. Literally, Sierra was sat on my bed before, and I don't even know where she got half the things from. But my bed looked like a junkyard after she finished, and I'm still not sure where she got all the crap, all the crap from. I'm just reading. Oh, thank you, Portia. Thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. And of course, when I get that set up on my other channel, I don't know how long it's going to be, but you're more than welcome to come on and we'll have a laugh and a joke and just a kick back. Thank you very much for coming, Portia. I do appreciate it. Right, so I had Hurricane Michael hit my neighbourhood last year. Done everything around the house, but no trees down, and my house was untouched. Gosh, pool, not good. Wow, crazy, Tim. I couldn't imagine that here because we don't suffer things like that, really. You know, I mean, we have some bad storms, mild hurricanes, but we just really don't suffer that here. I mean, I've got to say, I'm not a big believer in the global warming thing. I think it's just, you know, time and evolution of our world that things are changing because things change. It's that simple. But yeah, it's just don't. I couldn't. I really, really couldn't do it, Tim. I couldn't because I suppose. I mean, maybe we're so sheltered here because we don't suffer them overly badly. What year was it? Claire won't remember. I don't even know whether she. Yeah, she will have been just born. Maybe in the 80s here, where we had the big storm. You know that caused havoc. I mean, it literally caused havoc because we're not prepared for things like this here. We're probably more prepared after that, and we had some deaths. You know, we have a few floodings every now and then where rivers burst the banks, but nothing on the scale of what you suffer over there. California, though, Julie, is kind of known for being on the fault line, isn't it? Is it the San Andreas fault line? I mean, don't quote me, I could be wrong. But is it the San Andreas fault line that runs through California? The Michael Fish storm, see, Joanne knows. You know, Joanne, all I can think of now, can you remember that song that John Ketley is a weatherman, a weatherman, a weatherman. John Ketley is a weatherman, and so is Michael Fish, and Wincy Willis too. That's going to be playing in my head overnight. Right, well, when that storm happened, Joanne, this was what happened to me. The two main routes to get to my school revolved, going over two streams. So there was two bridges. The other way was like a major detour around half the city to get back round. So they had the fire brigade out in dinghies, ferrying people across where the little streams and brooks had burst the banks, and ferrying them across so they didn't. But if you were in a car, you had to take the big detour. And I can remember our taxi driver went down one of the ways and we couldn't go, so we had to turn around and go all the way back because my mum came to pick us up because the school got let out because the storm had happened and everything was flooding and it was crazy. I know Birmingham ghost hunters. How crazy is it? I didn't get in the dinghy. We was in a taxi. We had to turn around and go back the other way. My mum came to pick us up. Wow. You were lucky, Tim. Positive thinking. I know you said prayers, but I'm not big on the religious thing. Positive thinking, good intent, and good vibes. I'm all for that. I'm all for thinking we make and create our own destiny with our own beliefs and our own intent. And I'm not like New Agey or anything like that. I'm not a Wiccan or any of that stuff. I've had some experiences with religion that have turned me the other way. Let's just say that. And being raised an Irish Catholic, it was some issues. And days before Claire, we should actually put DBC on things that days before Claire. Seven Oaks. Do you know, I'd be beggared now because I've got literally, it's over 500 years old, the elm tree in my garden, and it's bleeding massive. It's one of the biggest elm trees I've seen. My house is a 3-story house, yeah, so I've got a ground, first, second floor, 3-story, so it's quite tall, and the tree towers above my house. And it's crazy. If I open this blind up and I leave it open at night, the shadows that it casts because the branches are all over the top of the house is crazy. It's like your stereotypical haunted house when it comes over. Tim, I do appreciate you popping back in. Of course, you've got to sort your own channel out first. I mean, who wouldn't? I hope you like your location that you went to. I'm a bit jealous that you talked to the local historian, got to be honest. Actually, like I said, when you get it sorted, pop the link. If you're on the channel, pop your link in either my chat when I do another chat or in one of my comments, and I'll make sure it gets shared around. Thank you very much, Tim. And it was lovely speaking to you. I don't remember that song, Claire. Do you know, that's really weird, and it's something that I'll bring up on another stream, Joanne. Me and Andy were talking on the phone for like a couple of hours the other night, and like looking up some stuff on elm trees as we were talking, some crazy stuff that actually relates to me and the things I've gone through. So it's really crazy. Oh, good. I'm glad you found it in the end, though, Tim. Yes, definitely. Stay a friend. Seriously, though, you need to, if you're going to join my other channel that Claire put the link to earlier, and it's in the description, plug. It is going to be a lot more let your hair down. I'm saying Tim, she's got, did she not say she was, oh no, it's Birmingham who was Joanne. Seriously, Tim, like, if you're going to join my other channel, it's going to be a lot more hair down and take us out with our kind of channel. It's just more for fun and giggles. Yeah, honestly, Joanne, it was crazy. And we were just talking about stuff, you know. But the things that we were finding out about the elm tree, I mean, Andy actually said there were things that he didn't know. So it was really cool. And in relation to me, it was really brilliant. It was crazy because when I moved into this house, there was a row of newly built houses. I think there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 houses that were newly built on the old churchyard and churchyard. And I was one of the first people to look at these houses, and I could have had any of these houses. And I literally picked the one with the elm tree in the garden. And, you know, I don't know whether I believe in destiny or we make our own fate or whatever, but it seemed kind of destined that I picked this house. And it was really crazy, the things we were learning together at the time on the phone. You'll like it if you like a laugh, Tim, honestly. And you don't mind a bit of swearing because there might be a bit of that goes on. I'm being very good tonight because I don't want to age restrict the stream. Could well be, Joanne. It really could well be. It was. You see, that's another thing, isn't it? Fate, and yeah, meant to be. Fate's a weird thing, isn't it? It's a fickle thing. Yeah, all banter, no bullying. Jesus Christ, Claire, I should have that as my tagline. Thank you very much. All banter, no bullying. I kind of love that. I'm going to use that as my tagline. Yep, we don't do crap. We don't do all those idiots who just want to come in and give shit. We're there, just go. Do you know, sometimes though, it's the people who come in and think they're superior in their knowledge and abilities that wind me up more. I'm made up. I don't know, maybe. But it's crazy. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? What we never stop learning. And what did I say to you before? We'll probably end up with more questions than answers. And I love that. As somebody who likes learning and researching things, to me, having more questions than answers is fantastic. Nerd alert, nerd alert. Hi, Samantha. How are you, honey? I'm nearly done now. We've done the main thing. We're just having a bit of a chat. Are you okay? True though, Julie. Do you know what I've got? What song I've got in my head though now? I'm thinking about this, you know, just thinking about fate and life. And I've got that song in my head. I don't even know who sung it. That life is life. Da 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 da. Honestly, that's what I've got in my head now. It probably doesn't help that Life After Life came in at the same time when we were talking about fate and things like that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you've been poorly, Samantha. I really am. Brilliant. I'm glad you're on the road to recovery. Oh, look, Birmingham Ghost Hunters, Joanne. Thank you for the plug. I'm not singing your song, Claire. I'm trying to keep it without being age restricted. It probably is, Joanne. I mean, I look at, like, because I do like my quantum physics and physics in general. And um, honestly, if you're into the paranormal, you should all learn spooky action in motion. Einstein's spooky action in motion. Go and look up his theory, spooky action in motion. And I think everybody who believes in the paranormal and who is into the paranormal should actually believe that. Should actually read that theory of Einstein's on physics, quantum physics. Oh, geez, Samantha, we don't do that crap here. Swear to God, anybody brings drama to my stream and they're gone quicker than they type the words. We don't do that. We don't do that at all. I don't tolerate anybody being insulted, anybody who even tries to be rude to somebody else. No. Do you know, I watch very few channels because of the drama. I don't do it. I've watched, Samantha, I've been in some of your lives, that you've done when you've done the premieres and things like that, and some of your lives that you've done. I'm not sure your friend's name. Is it Rachel? Was it Rachel? We've done some lives with. I can't remember off my head. I do have a good memory, but I can't remember off my head. Um, Drama free is the way to go. Don't get involved in any of it. Make your own path, forge your own truth, really. And literally, I don't, you can see down the side there, be your own truth. Basically, it means, yes, Rachel, thank you. Basically, it just means be your own yardstick. Judge what you believe, you know, be your own truth, be your own consciousness, your own conscience, be your own truth. Don't let anybody tell you that it should be this way, that way, this is how it is, that's how it is. No, be your own truth. Do what feels right to you. I have had people ask me after my last stream what be your own truth means. It just means be yourself, forge your own path. Be who you need to be what's comfortable for you. Yeah, Birmingham Ghost Hunters, that's true too. You can learn from others, but you still have to do what feels right for yourself. Be your own judge, be your own jury, and if you're into the paranormal for nefarious reasons, be your own executioner, you know? Exactly. It is your life and your journey, Joanne. It is. That's Joanne Birmingham Ghost Hunters, by the way. If you're going to do this, it's a weird field. It's a weird thing to try to explain to people, and it's a weird thing to be involved in. So it has to be your own journey, and it has to be your own truth. And learning from other people along the way isn't a bad thing. Cherry pick what feels right for you, because you know at the end of the day, it has to be something that feels right for you. You can't you can't take somebody else's teachings and use them verbatim. You literally have to use them in a way that feels comfortable for you. So cherry pick what feels right. It doesn't stop Samantha, you bang on, and it's something that I always say. We usually left with more questions than answers. I kind of love that about the paranormal though. You know, I really do believe having more questions than answers is a good thing. That's true too, Joanne. Cheesy balls, Joanne. You've got to be true to yourself. At the end of the day, it means nothing unless it feels comfortable and fits with you. Find the truth your own way. I mean, ghost hunters, that's exactly what it means. Be your own truth. But being your own truth means you have to be your own conscience. You know, like I said, judge, jury, and executioner. You've got to live your life being your own truth. A lot of people won't do that. They'll forget why they got into the field. You know, should never forget. No, you're right, Birmingham Ghost. You should never. We're all here to learn. That's what I say. We always end up with more questions than answers, but I'm good with that. I'm going to put that up. I get passionate with the spirits, don't we all? But I also have respect. Respect is paramount in my opinion, and it's only my opinion. I believe we need to respect. Because the thing is, when I see people provoking, and I can understand why they provoke, but you wouldn't walk down the street and say and scream in somebody's face, "What's the time?" You just don't do that. I don't. So to me, it's a thing about respect. You don't. You know, you've got to respect. I'm not a big believer in demons, Birmingham ghost hunters, negativity and negative spirits or bad people, you know, or bad spirits, if you will. I totally agree with you. At the end of the day, this is the way I look at it. Not being religious and not looking at things from a religious connotation. It you know, but they've gone through the death process, which has to be traumatic for anybody. You know, so to me, you start off respectful. You know, I mean, this Peter spirit I'm dealing with at the minute isn't respectful, and I've been at it since January of this year, and it's trying to pull a con on me because I thought it was my uncle at the time, and you know, it's a big thing that I've been dealing with since January. But anyway, not being like I said, not being religious, demon, the word demon and Satan and all those don't really. I believe there's negative spirits because we have serial killers on this earth and just bad people. You know, so there's going to be bad spirits. um, true, Joanne, that's very true. I agree with that too. Sometimes you need to defend yourself, Joanne, and it's hard. It's a fine line of defence, you know. Uh, and I do believe sometimes you have to be more intent on our purposes than other times. Yes, Samantha. You see, I have no problem with having more questions. More questions means more learning, more research, and you never know what you're going to pick up on that research along the way. And to me, that's a marvelous thing. I'm a bit of a nerd in some aspects. And it's crazy because this is a bit more of a serious stream than I normally do. But to me, you can, never have enough knowledge. You can never learn enough. I really don't believe we're going to have all the answers by the time we kick the bucket. We're going to find out firsthand then. But I enjoy everybody's opinion. I enjoy looking at the wide variety of things that's out there, the wide variety of how people communicate, how they look at the paranormal, how they view technology towards old school things. I absolutely love it. And I don't think you can go wrong literally soaking it all up. But like I said, do what feels right to you. Yeah, I do believe it's all about respect in the long run. Do if you watch any of my videos, the names they called me, you wouldn't believe. But, I'm a swearer, Joanne. I swear. I come from an Irish family. We swear. I'm being really good on this stream because, I'm trying not to age restrict it. I literally opened up a second channel that I don't mind if I only have 20 people in there. It just means I can do lives where I can relax and chill and swear and be me. So I'm trying to be really good in this stream. But yeah, respect is paramount, I think, when we deal with things we don't know. We don't know. You don't go shouting in the face of people you don't know. Don't shout at things we don't know. Jesus Christ, Claire. Trust's okay, but at the end of the day, don't believe everything they tell you. Because don't believe everything a human being tells you. Don't you do not take people on face value. If you don't know somebody, you do not take their word as law. You do not take them on face value. You assess yourself, and it may be over time. You've got to treat the spirits the same way. Doesn't mean you can't respect what they're saying or be respectful to them, but you still have to hold that little bit back and be polite, but in your own mind, be thinking, but what if? Um, yeah, I'm. I do like to swear. Um, I do believe, though, we have to, and I think, right, tongue tied, the spirits interact and react to our personalities. So, because to me, swearing is kind of an everyday activity, my spirits swear. But this Peter who came in was different. He started talking about different situations that could happen and different topics. Some of them that were just downright nasty, you know. But this is also the thing. I've never felt uncomfortable in my house. I know my house is active. I've lived with it for 17 years. The party's going on in the bedroom next door where there's nobody there. The stair walks, the apparitions. I've lived with it for 17 years. And I've never felt uncomfortable. And this Peter comes in and he starts saying nasty things of my spirit box and saying things that aren't everyday topics of conversation, shall we say. But I've still never felt bad. Now, I've walked into rooms. I've walked into many a house, many a room, and many a situation where, and I think we all have at some point in our lives, where you walk into somewhere and it just doesn't feel right, just doesn't feel good. You know, that intuition kicks in and you're like, don't feel nice here. I've never felt like it in my house. So I don't believe it's evil per se. You know, it might visit for the time, but it's not hanging around. Do you know what I mean? It's a strange one. No worries, Julie. Yeah. Hang on, I'm going to go back. Are you on about Peter sometimes gets quite dark? Joanne? We have, we, you know, Preston, the city that I'm from, we're a bit like crazy. If there was a crazy stamp on cities in England, we're probably kind of going to get there. You're on about sniffing petrol up there. We literally have a local, I don't really want to say hero per se, a local personality who's notorious is probably a better way to put it, for sniffing petrol, and he's literally been in our paper so many times in our local news, and he's called his moniker, or his nickname is Toxic Terry. We call him Toxic Terry. He's known for sniffing petrol. Let's put that up, Samantha. What's items with paranormal history like Robert the Dog and Annabelle? Glass cases in my hallway a few weeks ago. The guy fixing the gas ran out of the house. Do you think he was just a bit soft though? I mean, some people are just a bit soft, aren't they? And I shouldn't say that, but you know, they are. Some people are just a bit soft. I'm not a big believer in things being haunted, Samantha. I have to be honest, and because I'm not nothing if I'm not honest and not truthful to my own beliefs and thoughts. So I'm not convinced things are haunted, but I do believe things can have an attachment. And when I say an attachment, that means something that's been owned, used, even loved by a person. Maybe a metaphysical like cord will always attach them to it. It's like graveyards, right? Who would want to haunt a graveyard when we die? When I die, I want to haunt the south of France, right? And then I want to do a world tour, right? I don't want to be stuck in a fucking graveyard, right? So, but I believe things that have had an impact on our lives or our energy, if it's afterlife, I think we have a metaphysical cord to them, so that if we need to get back to them at any time, we can find that thing, that item, that place, and we can go there. So I believe things can have an attachment. I don't think things are haunted per se. Does that make sense to people? One God, that one. That's what I wanted. Yeah, Samantha, it probably was his own fears. People's fears take over. I mean, I was sat here in bed one night, and like I said, I've lived with the crazy in my home for 17 years, and I'm kind of used to it, and I get a bit dismissive of it. I'm used to seeing the shadows, the apparitions, the noises, the stair walks when they're getting a bit, you know, hyper, the sounds of parties in the next room and them dragging themselves across radiators. I'm used to all that, and it doesn't faze me. I don't know, 5, 6 months ago, I suffered with insomnia, and I was laid in bed, and the only way I can describe it is a group, I don't know, 10, 12 more little figures, look like black jelly babies. I can't think of any other way. Uh, they came en masse into my bedroom through the doorway and started crawling along the floor to me en masse. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, what the hell? And they was crawling along the floor, all these little black shadowy jelly baby things. And I was like, right, that's enough. And literally, this is what I spoke out loud as well. And I went, right, that's enough. I don't mind I don't mind you being in my house. I don't mind you sharing my space, but you don't scare me. That is that. You need to go, and you need to go now, because I won't put up with it. Don't make me take further steps. And you know what? As I got closer to the bed, they all just faded away. It was a crazy situation, and I don't get scared, really. I was more peeved that they tried to do that. Do you know what I mean? I was more upset that they tried to scare me than anything else. And I've never seen it since. They've never tried that since, and they've never done it since. Yeah, no, first of all, yeah, your own fears take over, and they do to a degree, but I don't tend to get scared. I kind of, what's that saying? Don't get mad, get even. But yeah, that was the only time I've been a bit more apprehensive. Do you know what I mean? Right, I need to leave, so I'm going to have to go for a second. So you'll just have to entertain yourselves for 1 second, and I'll leave you with this. I'm back. Although I've got to say, this is like my favourite one at the minute. I kind of love that one. Well, let me catch up on chat as I have to pee. Really, Samantha? Oh, that's interesting. Very cool. That's very interesting, that. Yeah, I didn't mean. Yeah, I just went to the toilet, shut the door, Claire. Yeah, the Hatman phenomenon is a weird thing, right? And I'll tell you my thoughts on the Hatman. You know, I'm surprised I actually have any supporters, to be perfectly honest with you, because I'm like, I'll tell you my truth. I'll sing it from the rooftops. No, Hatman is not a phenomenon that I can get behind, and it's literally, gosh, it's literally because through history, hats are a commonplace. And, you know, I mean, if we look at things from, I don't know, the 1600s, 1700s, the 1800s, hats were just commonplace. So if you've seen a spirit with a hat, it's just a spirit that has a hat. Do you know what I mean? It's a history. It's a time and place. It's a snapshot of history. Yeah, the black figures can get a bit, you know. But you see, I just thought of something. Anybody who follows my channel, when I say I just thought of something, they're like, oi. They all turn Jewish and go, oi. Do you think spirits evolve? Do you think that once they die, they can evolve into something different, something else? They can, you know, do you think they gain strength? I suppose is my question. Do you think they gain strength or power? Power's a marvelous thing. The longer they're dead, you know, do they learn? Do they develop power? And can they change the longer they're in the afterlife? I suppose that's a good way to put it. Oh, Stephen. Poor Stephen's been very quiet, and I think it's all the ladies, all the ladies on here. I won't say all the single ladies because, like, Rob would be like a bit upset about that. But who says black's negative? I wear black a lot. In fact, I wear grey more than anything. I suppose in what people would consider more of a Wiccan thing, I'm bordered on the good and bad. But I just believe in balance and equal. Yeah. I suppose the needle hanging out of his arm from the heroin that he was taking also had an effect. Ghost hunters, because he was supposed to be supposedly a bit of an addict, wasn't he? Do you think so, Mark? I think we may have to allow that for it to happen, but yeah, Julie, I agree. By the way, Mark, how are you, mate? Are you all right? That's the one I wanted. It is a good question. I mean, it is a good question. I don't know the answer to it. What I said, I don't. It's just something theoretical, isn't it? Can they change? Can they evolve? Can they grow? I mean, if you think of it more dimensional than an afterlife, because I like to think of it as more of a dimensional shift because it's energy, and energy in a dimensional shift more fit. So I don't know. Something to think about. You see, I love Mark and his sound and his funny as heck, right? And I'm keeping this clean, Mark, because I'm not age restricting this one. But Mark also knows my opinions on orbs. I'm not the biggest believer in orbs, and I'm never going to be. But he has one shadowy mist that I found very good and very impressive. And I can't think what video it is. Just right. I'm going to look for this because I said it last time and I didn't put it up. So just let me see if I can find Mark's video that I thought was really cool with Cara and and the shift. So just bear with me a second. I'm going to mute this to quick. I just want the chat up so I just opened my YouTube on my thing, so I can go to Mark's channel quickly. Go to channel. I'm going to try and share this video that I thought was really cool, the shadow. And if you're chatting, I do apologise because I'm not actually on the page. You know, Mark would be better finding this bleeding thing and telling me what it's called. Is it that one? I'm trying to look through your video second. This is the one. Right, okay. So I'm going to try share this one if I can. Right, I'm back. I'm going to try share this. And I just thought that this was a really cool thing because it's not really an orb per se. It's more of a mist, yeah? Oh, I've not pushed play, have I? It might help if I push play. It is a really quick thing, so you need to watch. Yeah, I don't know whether you actually saw that where she goes. It is actually really quick. Yeah, you can't. Energy doesn't dissipate. Energy can evolve and change, but you can't dissipate it, Samantha. No, I've watched your videos, Mark. To me, that is the one I find most believable. I'm gonna play it again and see if I can zoom in more. And when I say believable, I mean just something that I can't explain is probably a better way to put it. Not believable per se. Just something that is that a bit bigger? Yeah. Something that I find difficult to explain, yeah? It's not a case of believability, just something that I find more difficult to explain. I'll tell you why I like that, right? And why I think that's hard to explain than a lot of orbs I see. I find that more believable because it's nothing reflective around it. I suppose in a way you could still put it down to a bit of brick dust going by or things like that, but it's a good size. It's not an orb in the traditional sense of an orb. So, and it's not like an orb like you'd get from moisture in the air or on the lens kind of orb. And I just think the whole surrounding thing with no reflective surfaces per se, and that, you know, that kind of thing, to me, that's a good capture. When there's things that can reflect, people in the room where the moisture would be, you know, from the people's skins and everything erupt, you know, things like that aren't as convincing to me. That's more of an open space, so the moisture factor would be slimmer. Like I said, it could still be dust from the brick dust, but it's just that one time, you know. I think that's a good capture. You see, at that time when I made it a bit bigger, yeah, and filming it. I don't believe this daytime, nighttime malarkey, to be honest with you, because I don't think our concept of time is the same as their concept of time. I think our concepts of time are different. I do most of my spirit box sessions through the day. So even if I'm doing a live, I put the spirit box on at night. No, we were still sat there. We were still sat in one place when it happened. Claire, in answer to it. Samantha, I don't investigate, so it's hard for me to have an opinion on a lot of things because I'm not actually out in the field. I do spirit box sessions. Being agoraphobic and not being able to go out, I don't investigate. So I'm actually just going off the things I've seen and witnessed through other investigations and other knowledge. And like I always say, it's only ever my opinion. And, you know, I'm not judging people, it's an opinion. You know, you can't ask to be respected because respect's earned, in my opinion. And belief is what your own self has to do with and to judge, you know. Like with everything, it's what, you know, and like I said what earlier, it's what you feel comfortable with, what you feel comfortable believing, or what you feel comfortable not believing. You know, I also think that if there is another opinion, or if there could be another opinion, you also have to take it into consideration. You can't just scream, it's an orb and therefore it's a spiritual being. But I do agree, you catch things when you go home that you haven't seen at the time. So, going back to my original stream, what it was actually about, evil. because I need to go soon. Do you think you can sense evil? And I'm only saying that because of the situation I'm in at the minute. So, do you think you can sense evil? Or, if not evil per se, do you think you can sense something isn't right? Our own intuition, our own beliefs, all these things that accumulate over a lifetime. Do you think you'd know there was something evil around you? Do you think you'd know it for a certainty? For a fact? Get marked Tarting for trade. Check out my videos. So Joanne, Birmingham Ghost Hunters, thinks she'd know if something was evil around her. Anybody else? Yep, Claire thinks so. Anybody else willing to throw the hat into the ring? Julie does too. Jesus Christ, Claire. Anybody else want to put the money where the mouth is? Do you think you'd be able to sense evil? Do you think you'd know there was something evil there? Do you think you'd get that feeling? Just reading Samantha's. Yep. I literally do think that we feel something. A balance, a change in the balance of what's normal. I don't know whether I would consider it the presence of evil or, something negative. I don't know whether I'd say that per se, but a change in the normal. A feeling that doesn't feel normal to what you normally feel. A feeling that just, doesn't sit right, doesn't feel right, doesn't acclimatize with what you're used to. Do you know what I mean? That kind of a situation. Now I'm skeptical, and I have no bones about saying that I'm skeptical. I mean, if you don't like my skepticism to a degree, that's your choice. I believe that there is something out there. I believe in the paranormal. I say I'm a skeptical person because of all the crappy evidence that I see out there from people. All the hairs caught on camera, and it's like, oh my god, have you seen that? All the tarting for trade situations that we see. Oh my god, I've had a hard life, and look, I'm in my car. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not naming names, and I'm not doing that shit, but these things leave me very skeptical. All the mediums out there who will say, I'll tell you how it's going to be for £50. So yeah, I'm a skeptical person, but I'm not skeptical about the belief in an afterlife. I'm never skeptical about that. What I believe that feeling is an imbalance of energy. Yeah, we perceive it as not being right, not being normal, and it isn't normal because it's a change from our normal. Is it evil? I don't know. Is it a sign of something nasty? I don't know. What I will say is I've been dealing with this spirit entity, whatever it is, of Peter since January, and the feeling in my house hasn't changed. I haven't felt anything nefarious. I haven't felt anything evil. I haven't felt any change whatsoever. What I have seen, or well, heard, is the responses on my spirit box getting nasty. Now, to me, that's like a contradiction in turn, you know. Somebody I know said they're sure it's evil and it's like a fallen angel or a non-human entity or whatever. I'm not sure of that because I've gone into a place, my house that I lived in as a child had the most horrible feeling. And when my brother owns it now. It was my dad's house and my brother owns it now. And even now, I'm agoraphobic, I've not been out for 6 years, but if I went there now, it still feels the same. All my childhood, it felt oppressive, is the way to say, I suppose. But my feeling in my house hasn't changed since this negative spirit or entity or whatever it is came in. And I'm wondering why. Would I not know if there was something negative coming in? You all seem to think that you'd feel something negative, something nasty. The spirit that comes in talks about incest and rape and sex and, you know, all the negative things that you just don't want to deal with, or don't want to really acknowledge. Do you know what I mean? Talks about sex and gets nasty and dirty. But I don't feel any change in my atmosphere in my house. Is it a concern? I don't know. Is it masking its feelings? I don't know. You know, and that's what makes me want to ask more questions, which makes me happy because I like questions. Okay, I need to catch up with chat because I really wasn't watching. Right, if you think she's evil, I'm just going to go back to there. But you can get her to do good things. It kind of supports my stream because definition of evil, as I put up earlier, you wouldn't be able to get her to do good things. Maybe she's just not the most nice person in the world. You know, we can all be a witch with a bee occasionally. Do you really think she's a demon? Or is she just saying she is because she could be a bit of a 20, you know? I don't know. I've not watched enough of your videos, Mark, to have really a big opinion on that, though, to be honest with you. So, but I think if you can get her to do some good things, she's not really demonic. Just would like to portray herself that way. But again, you've had a lot more dealings with her than I have, so I can't really have an opinion per se on that. Yes, Samantha, I agree wholeheartedly. We should all be skeptical to a degree. Totally. I am catching up people because I went on a bit of a chat there. Yes, literally, I have one tattoo that I got done 24 years ago, and it's on the thigh at the top of my leg, and it's a yin yang symbol. It's balance. With good comes bad. With bad comes good. You know, we need balance in our lives. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think normally anyway, though, Joanne. I gotta be honest. Um, yeah, I mean, I agree, Joanne, but I'm not sure she's demonic. Maybe she wants to portray herself that way. Yeah, but I'm not a believer in demons. I'm a believer in negativity. There's good, there's bad in this world. So who's not to say there's good and bad in the afterworld or the afterlife? But again, I don't know because I'm not dealing with Cara the same way Mark is dealing with Cara. So it's not really for me to judge on that as well. Do you understand what I mean? You can't judge something you're not dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And I do totally and utterly believe that it is sometimes it's the feelings that surround us at the time. That's why I asked about the feelings. If you think you can sense something bad or negative, that's why I asked. So yeah, I'm not dealing with Cara the same way Mark deals with Cara. So it's hard for me to have an opinion on that because I'm not dealing with it. Right, I need to put that up. Um, send him our way. I've got a list of people I think need shit. Gonna be honest. Yeah, you can't think negativity. I'll have a look at that, Mark. Most definitely. You know, I may be skeptical, but I'm very open to other people's beliefs. And at the end of the day, we can't shut people out. We can't shut them down. I cannot, in all conscience rather, say my way is right, right? Because I don't know. I'm only living my own truth. But at the end of the day, to live your own truth doesn't mean you shut everybody else's out. I am catching up, people. You're just actually typing faster than I can go. um, I don't know. To me, to be demonic is a bad thing, as written in law, which is what I covered earlier on in the stream. I do believe that we have negative spirits because we have serial killers and the like that live. They don't suddenly become, as a friend of mine says, Mother Teresa when they pass. So yeah, I believe we have negative spirits. To me, evil is evil is evil if you want to look at it in that definition. But that's only a definition through learned truth from the indoctrinations of religion. Yep, I agree with that. Do you know, will you stop typing so fast, you lot? Yep, I agree. Negative spirits lie. Yeah, but I have a spirit who I'm dealing with at the minute, and I don't think it's a demon. I just think it's somebody who wants me to perceive them that way, and they come when I do a session. But again, I don't deal with Cara on a daily basis like you do, so I'm never going to have an outright opinion, and I don't think you're a liar. So, it's only something that me on the outside looking in is thinking, but I'm not feeling or being in the situations that you are. I'm trying to catch up. Uh, right, again, the fallen angel thing, I'm not getting behind too much because it's a religious icon per se. Um, do I believe some spirits are stronger than other spirits and could portray themselves that way? Most definitely. Yep, Joanne, gotta be open. Morad, hello, my friend. How are you? Hope you're okay. Um, that's what I wanted to put up. Again, it's back to be your own truth, be who you are, know your limitations, know your expectations, and deal with things in a way that makes sense to you. You can only be who you are, learn from other people, but don't automatically follow in the footsteps because, you need to expand your own knowledge, your own truth, your own light if you want to put a more, spiritual connotation on it. And I would say, cherry pick, you have to be comfortable in your own voyage in the paranormal. Wade through all that stuff and become the person and learn the things that sit right with you. Marad. um, ooh, I covered the oppression possession like thing earlier. Um, so I'm trying not to chase people away here, but I don't know. I think 99.9% of situations where people think they're possessed is a form of either mental illness, epilepsy, or other health issues that can portray the same things. Because I've been brought up in the Catholic faith and everything else, I still have that lingering indoctrination that makes me think, is it true? Is it not? I don't know. I'm not big on the possession thing, but again, I've never lived through it. It's very easy for somebody to say who hasn't gone through these things to turn around and call foul. I, I find it very hard to call. I can have my opinion on things, but I'm not living through other people's truths. I'm not living through their life, so it's very hard for me to have an opinion on that because when I've not lived through something, not felt something, not experienced it, it's very hard to have that truth. Yeah, I'm never going to be shy of telling you my opinion, but I'm also very fair in my opinions on other people's things. I can tell you what I think, what I believe, but you've also got to understand that I will look at other people's beliefs and knowledge and truth. You know, no worries, Wes, but I'm going soon. I've nearly been on for 3 hours. My other half's going to come upstairs in a minute, streaking or something, just to get me off the bloody stream. Yeah, Joanne, you've got to. Knowledge is fine, and the written word is fine, but sometimes it comes down to experience and feelings. Very hard when you not experience something to have an opinion on it. And you can talk rationally all day long, and I could probably give you 1,000 reasons why. All right, I might be exaggerating slightly with the 1,000 reasons, but I could probably give you a lot of reasons why that situation happened. Does it mean it's true? I don't know. Does it mean I'm right? I don't know. You know, I don't like people who dictate that their way is the only way. It's their way, the highway kind of thing. I don't like people who do that. I don't like people who say they've got so much experience that you must follow them. I believe, like I said, you find your own truth. Find your own way, find your own fit. And if that means cherry picking from all those experiences, then that's what you need to do. Learn everything. Speak to people, be respectful, learn how they evolved into what they are, you know? Oh, Jesus, don't say that, because he may well come up streaking, Joanne. You have no idea. Thank you, Joanne Birmingham Ghost Hunters. Yeah. I don't deal with disrespect of other people's views. To me, it's just not, well, it's not nice for one, and that's putting it mildly. If we're on my other channel, you'd hear me say a lot different about it in not so nice ways. But it's not nice. Exactly. There's no hate needed at all. And I say this, cherry pick what feels right. It has to sit right with you. You've got to be your own truth, judge, jury, and executioner. It's got to fit right, sit right, and you've got to be truthful in it. Because if you're not, you're your own executioner. I'll always give you my opinion, but it's John Birmingham Gossens, but it's only ever my opinion. I don't speak for the masses, you know? It's just not me. Oh, thank you, Birmingham Ghost Hunters. I do appreciate that. I really do. Again, I'm going to plug my other channel because, like, the other channel is like, Paranormal Gone Wild or just Life Gone Wild, really. I've given it a paranormal connotation because we will be talking paranormal on it at some point. But there will be no disrespect. There won't be names mentioned. They'll just be like, maybe a few jokes and situations that we may allude to, but there won't be names or people, named. But for the most part, it's just a place to go, relax, let your hair down, and bloody chill from all the crap that you see in the paranormal. You need to come and join our Truth a Day. Wes said he'd take part in our Truth a Day. Portia, who was on earlier, said on my other channel she's going to come and join in our Truth a Day. if if at any point you don't want to hear the ins and outs of my life, really just don't join in the Truth or Dare stream because I have no shame. I do not get embarrassed and I have no shame. And whatever anybody asks me, I'm going to tell them because I don't do shame. No, Claire's catch line was best. Claire, remind me, there you go, all banter, no bullying. That's my catchphrase for my new channel. Claire came up with it, all banter, no bullying. Right, you lovely people. I've absolutely had a great time. I've spouted my views on things. Doesn't mean you have to believe them. I've gone through the process of evil as best I could. Just my thoughts, my opinions. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed the chat afterwards where we've, again, evolved to different things and different thought processes. There is absolutely no one way to deal with the paranormal. I think we all have to believe that truth and honesty should be at the forefront. Truth and honesty should always be at the forefront. Monetary gain should never even enter into it. I believe that we should be our own judge, jury, and executioner, and we should all believe in what we can live with. Be your own truth. I really do love you all, and You've been great, and I've enjoyed chatting to you, and it's been great seeing other people's thoughts and views, as always. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care. Bye.